together, everyone. Hare Rama, Hare. I can hear you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. प्रेम से बोलो सत्यनारायण स्वामी की।
जब राह न पाए मेरे संग आए के पग पग दीप जलाई, मेरी दोस्ती मेरा प्यार, मेरी दोस्ती मेरा प्यार। जब राह न पाए मेरे संग आए के पग पग दीप जलाई, मेरी दोस्ती मेरा
Devotees, at this point in time, I ask of you all to join hands together as you close your physical eyes as we meditate onto the lotus-like feet of Bhagwan Vishnu Satnarayan Swami. As we are all here, we need protection in our life. Let us all pray. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Shri Saraswatye Namaha. Shri Guru Charana Kamalabhyo Namah. Akandamandanaakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatparam Darasitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namastute Vyasa Vishal Buddhi Pularvindrayat Patra Netra Yenatmaya Bharatela Purna Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradhipa Sahanavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karvavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vivisavahi Ma vivisavahi Ma vivisavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Prem se bolo Satnarayan Swami ki. Loving devotees of Satya Sanatana Dharma, lovers of Bhagwan Sri Krishna, Bhagwan Vishnu, as we join tonight on this auspicious night in glorifying the name of Satnarayan Swami, and as we know for the entire month of Shravan Masi, we put aside in prayers to Bhagwan in the form of Shiva, Har Har Mahadev. Unfortunately, tonight conclude his puja. As we know for a fact in the Hindu calendar, there is Shukla Paksh and Krishna Paksh. And loving devotees and friends, after tonight, it says that we are entering into Krishna Paksh, the dark half of the month of Bhadrapad. What it means, next week Thursday we will join here in celebrating a Janam, a form of Bhagwan Sri Vishnu, loving devotees and friends. Tonight as we celebrate, and also highly auspicious through the entire world, is observing Raksha Bandhan. Raksha means protection, Bandhan means a bond between whom many of us we misinterpret. But loving devotees and friends, tonight Katha will explain, which I want to bring a beautiful Katha this evening, as Goswami Tulsidas tells us in Ramcharitmanas. Bhagwan Shri Ram, Sita Devi or Lakshmana, while they were residing within the forest, which known to us as Banbas, in the beautiful forest of Kiskindar, Ravana had always had his eyes upon Sita Devi. And even though before the marriage of Bhagwan Shri Ram and Sita Devi, at the time when everyone has been called to challenge and test the strength, the ability, Ravana was one of them. But unfortunately, loving devotees and friends, he could not break the bow of Bhagwan Shiva. It says that when we born in this world, loving devotees and friends, whatever we come to do in this world, we are the only one who have to do it. I love devotees, with the prayers and penance and tapasya of Bhagwan Shri Ram, Sita Devi, it says that only he have been permitted by the grace, the darshan of Bhagwan Shiva. And as Katha continued to tell us tonight, loving devotees and friends, while Ravan lived in that huge palace from Lanka Puri, it says one day a beautiful plan came to his mind. What it teaches us, it says that when man does not have anything to do, they will create what? Happiness, right? It says the idle mind is a devil workshop. I love devotees and friends. One day, Ravana sit in that kingdom, and a thought come to his mind. According to Goswami Tulsidas, loving devotees, he remembered about his uncle Marich. And as Marich has been blessed with boon, which means gifts, loving devotees, it says what kind of gift he has blessed with. He could assume a form of any creature, anything that he want to become. And loving devotees and friends, as Ravana called upon his uncle Marich, what happened? It says that as Marich went in front of Ravana, Ravana says that I want you to go to Kiskindar, the forest, and there will be a beautiful kutya, which means a hut. Reside there is the prince of Ayodhya, Bhagwan Shri Ram with Lakshmana or Sita Devi. And what he instructed him to do, loving devotees and friends, Ravana says to Marich, the uncle, that I want you to assume a form of a golden deer. And I want you to roam around that kutya so that Sita Devi could see the beauty of this deer. And meanwhile, Marich, loving devotees and friends, blindly followed the instruction of the leader. Although he was an elder, he followed the instruction of Ravana, who was leading a dharma, which is unrighteousness. He bowed the feet of Ravana and says, my lord, certainly I will accomplish whatever your heart has been desired. And Marich leave to Kiskindar, and loving devotees and friends, the whole katha in Kiskindar Khan of Ramayana explain what took place. Tonight, I take you to the golden page of Ramayana. These are the words through the medium of Ramayana. Goswami Tulsidas explain what happened. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Everybody. Marich, he went to the forest loving devotees, but as he goes into the forest of Kiskinda, it says that he take the form of a golden deer, and he was roaming around the kutya. And Sita Devi saw this deer and she turned to Bhagwan Sri Ram and says, "Hey Prabhu, my Lord, there is a golden deer roaming around this little hut, the Kutya. Hey Prabhu, I'm asking you for something today." Sita Devi says that when you're going away to the forest to perform your tapasya, your puja, your meditation, I just feel lonely home. Loving devotees, it reminds us of ourselves, right? It says in this day and age of Kali Yuga, when we have people amongst us, we pray to be by ourselves. And when we be by ourselves, we pray to have some company. How God will please us. Similarly, Sita Devi speaks, "Oh Lord, I want you to get that deer for me." A thought come to his mind. It says that if Sita could make such a sacrifice to leave all the luxury beyond in Ayodhya and accompany me in living in a little hut, give up all material things, the jewelry, all the makeup and fancy clothing, and choose to come to live with me in the forest in this little hut. This is a huge sacrifice she made, and whatever she is asking for. Meanwhile, he called upon his brother Bhaya Lakshmana. What he did, Katha continue to tells us. Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai. Everybody. तेहि रघुनारा कहाँ सीता धरी तेहि रघुनारा आई घड़ी हो प्रभु तन राहो श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. So as Marich goes into the forest, Kiskinda, it says that Sita Devi see the beauty of this deer. And many of us, when we see certain things in life, we see it in somebody else's hand, we don't like it. But if we go and we touch it and we start to feel it and look at it, what happens? We become attached to it. How much of you heard that, a new fancy car coming out? What a new car they have? Tesla, all right? You say, man, if I have an old car and a new car, it's the same thing. But let's say one day a friend invites you to go and sit, just to experience what happened. By touching and seeing, we become attacked by the world of Maya, illusion. And what happened, loving devotees and friends, it says that we will attach our desire of having such a thing. And as Sita Devi saw this deer closely, have you ever saw a deer before? From a far distance, the deer does not look nice at all. But when it comes closer and the light hit the body, the skin of that deer, what happened? Beauty reflect. And this is not no ordinary deer, but a golden deer, loving devotees and friends, caught the eyes of Sita Devi. And as Bhagwan Sri Ram called upon Lakshmana, he says that, I want to go out there and fulfill the desire of my wife. In the other hand, O Lakshman, I'm asking you to do one thing for me. Protect this little hut, this kutya. Stay here, make sure you take good care. Lakshmana says, I will ensure that Sita Devi is well taken care and that she will be protected. Bhagwan Sri Ram went in searching of this deer. But remember, loving devotees and friends, who was this deer? The deer was Marich, the uncle of Ravana. And as this deer have been instructed to perform a job, a duty, what happened? He started to go deeper and deeper into the forest. He's going deeper and deeper. He's trying to lose the divine Lord Sri Ram. Hours has been passed, and meanwhile, Sita Devi is in that little hut. The place is starting to get dark. When husband go out and place get dark and the wife go in their home, what happened? Nowadays you have cell phone, you call every second, where you there? Long ago what you do? The wife will sit down and look on the road, the street, waiting for the husband, especially when the place get dark. Kali Yuga, the wife will do the same thing now. It says that Sita Devi was worried because the place is getting dark. She did not see Bhagwan Sri Ram come back to that kutya with the deer. Call upon Lakshmana, say, hey Lakshman, I want you to go and look for Sri Ram because I'm worried. And if you see him, tell him, forget about the deer, don't worry, bring the deer anymore. Does this sound familiar? Sometimes you want something, and when somebody go get it, you say, man, don't worry about it. How that feel? You should know better than I do, right? At this point in time, Lakshmana remember the words of Bhagwan Sri Ram to always ensure that Sita Devi is well protected. Lakshmana is thinking, how could I go against my words? If I cannot be here, who will protect Sita Devi? When we make promises to individual, when we make promises, what it means? Raghukula Kiti Sara chali aaye, praan jaye par bachan na jaye. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Everybody? Raghukula Kiti Sada Chalaye, Praan Jaye Par Bachan Jaye. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. It says clearly, loving devotees and friends, that when you give your words, let it be near and dear to you, just like your breath, your prana. It says that just like we give our words, let it represent the prana of us. Many of us, we promise. We tell people that we will do this, we will do that. And loving devotees and friends, when time comes, what happened? So Lakshmana remember clearly, loving devotees and friends, and as he began to think, meanwhile, he came up with an idea. What is the idea? Lakshmana took the arrow and began to pray to the divine Devi. Sometimes when situation arises in our life, we call people and ask them, we tell them our whole story. Katha says tonight, when there is trouble, when there is situation, we must learn to pray. At this point in time, as Lakshmana placed the arrow down to the earth, he about to burn this spot. He is about to mark this spot. He is about to protect this kutya, the bauji of him. At this point in time, he is seeking the blessings of the divine Devi Maya, who he call upon. Om Prithvi Tatritaloka Devi Tva Prithvim Chakuru Chasanam Prithvi Divyai Namostute Prithvi Divyai Namo Namah. Praise Dharti Mata Ki Jai. He began to pray to Prithvi Maya, and as he rests the arrow into the earth, it says that before he began to draw the reka, the line around the kutya, the hut, it says that, O divine, purify this place, purify this spot, protect this spot, bless this spot. You are Mahashakti, the Devi of the supreme energy. Protect Sita Devi. Lakshmana says, loving devotees, that O Sita Devi, that while you are in this circle, you are protected. And as long you step out of here, you are unprotected. The Divine Mother listened to the words of Lakshmana. What Lakshmana teaches us tonight, it says that anytime we embark on a journey, anytime we leave our home and we're going to places, what we should do, we must seek the blessings of Bhagwan. How much of you pray when you leave home? Raise your hand. It says that when we leave our home, we must seek the blessings of Bhagwan. Many times, and especially the husband, when they leave the home, they will say to the wife that make sure when I come back home, I get some good, nice hot roti. And he come back with the expectation to get some nice hot roti. And when he go into the kitchen, there is nothing. What happened? Eventually you will see the pot, the curry, the spoon, the plate will fly out of the house. It says some, when they leave their home, they will quarrel with one another, but never thought to themselves that, you know what? Today we're embarking on a journey. We're separating. Do you know if we will be permitted to meet again? It says, as a devotee of God, remember to say a prayer when you leave your home. When we pray to God and we leave our home, we must always seek the blessings in a silent way. Some people like pray hard. Some people just pray and they talk all kind of stuff and you don't know what you're talking. But just tell everybody, you know, I'm praying. Have you ever experienced that? It says that when you leave, what kind of prayer? You pray silently in your heart. Let God alone hear your prayer, not people around. Lakshmana went now to search for Bhagwan Sri Ram. He leave Dharti Mata, Mother Earth, the divine Bhumi, to protect Sita Devi. And while he is searching for his brother, Ravana, the king of Lanka, he is looking at everything. Today when we are home, when we walking and we do things in our life, we think people are not looking. And at this point in time, he is ready to make his move. So Ravana, he began to walk to the Kutya. But while he was walking, loving devotees and friends, what happened? Goswami Tulsidas speak. Hare Rama milan kab hoye, aj savala ge lage. Hare Rama milan kab hoye, aj savala ge lage. As Ravana walking towards the Kutya, it says, loving devotees and friends, that he thought to himself that if I go there in front of Sita Devi as the king of Lanka, she will recognize me. He says to himself that he will disguise himself as a sadhu. And while he was walking around, he was walking towards the Kutya, he is chanting, Diksham Dehi, Diksham Dehi. And Sita Devi heard someone is chanting, Diksham Dehi, Diksham Dehi. And at this point in time, Ravana, he knows that Sita is there. So he says to the divine, Hey Maya, Diksham Dehi, Diksham Dehi. And at this point in time, Sita Devi comes out of that little hut. Katha continues. Mana Sita Deva Swarupa Mana ओ तब राम निज रूप देखब मायना सबना जब ओ मायना सबना जब अरिस लागे हो हरि हो राम मिलन कब होवे अरिस लागे हो हरि हो राम मिलन सब होवे अरिस लागे हो सियापति रामचंद्र की जय. Ravana is walking around, and you know when a beggar man come to your house and they are calling upon you, is the way they call upon you, that's how much money you give. Huh? If somebody come and the way they speak to you, that's how you give them. Ravana is walking around, Diksham Dehi, and Sita Devi look outside as she is walking out of the Kutya, the hut. She saw a sadhu coming. And at that point in time, loving devotees and friends, Sita Devi remembered the words of Bhagwan Shri Ram. What is the words of Bhagwan Shri Ram? There's many. But what words? Atiti Deva Bhava. Your guest is... Nobody knows? Atiti Deva Bhava. Your guest should be your God. And at that point in time, Sita Devi remembered the words of Bhagwan Shri Ram. As your guests come to your home, the old people, the elder folks have been taught us that if someone comes to your house and there is the last mouthful of food is in a pot, you should give it to them and sleep hungry belly. If you tell the young generation that now, they will say, you know what? Let me belly full and you see what you're going to do. You know, loving devotees and friends, when someone hungry and they want food, and you feed them, you give them food, that is the greatest seva, the greatest blessings. It is useless we take our money and we giving to charitable organization. They have plenty, but they are not utilized it in the proper way. But loving devotees and friends, the greatest blessings is when someone's hungry, you give them food. Sita Devi went back into the hut. You know, if you go to somebody's house and the people outside and they see you and they went back inside, how you feel? Anybody ever went in a situation like that? You go to somebody's house, you show up accidentally, and they just peek through the window and see you and they just gone back inside. So similarly, Sita Devi went back, she rushed to go and see where she can get something to offer. And what was there was a bowl of fruits. It says that as she held the bowl of fruits in her hand, she is about to go in serving the guests as God. While she is walking out, Ravana in the form of the sadhu says, "O Devi, O Maya, can you please bring it to me? I cannot walk one step more. I'm so tired." So Sita Devi at this point in time says, in her mind, that if she steps out of the ring, the line, she is unprotected. And while she is in there, she is protected. But the situation arises that she has to step out, loving devotees and friends. In her mind, she says, this man is so old, he cannot even walk one step more to come to me. What are he gonna do? There is a saying, never judge a book by looking at the cover. As Sita Devi stepped 1 feet over the line, the sadhu is laughing, smiling. And loving devotees and friends, it says that we should never underestimate the ability of anyone. Today in the world of Kali Yuga, there are many who disguise themselves, coming around to you, pretend. But we should understand, as Sanatana Dharma teaches us, we should differentiate. The mother already know, but she is teaching the world. They are bringing this lesson for us to understand. And at this point in time, she is stepping the next feet out of the line. What happened? It says that when someone trying many ways to attack you and there is protection, they will try to deceive you in life. And when they get that chance, without any hesitation, they will attack you in life. Ravana, without any hesitation in a split second, to resume back to his true form. And when Sita Devi saw Ravana, says that she didn't have the opportunity to run anyway. And at that point in time, loving devotees and friends, Ravana took Sita Devi and the Pushpak Viman, the celestial chariot, and placing her there, he began a journey to Lankapuri. As he began this journey, what it says, Goswami Tulsidas in this beautiful Doha. At this point in time, loving devotees and friends, as the chariot is heading towards Lankapuri, is heading in the southern direction of India, where Sita Devi is crying out. And loving devotees, there is a beautiful verse of Ramayana which says, the moving and the non-moving, all the creatures heard the griefs of Sita Devi in hearing the cry, the lamentation of Sita Devi. They felt the distress. They are feeling helpless and hopeless. They says that, how can we help Sita Devi? How can we help? And the king of birds recognized the chariot, the Pushpak Viman, which has been owned by Ravana. And he is also recognizing the voice of that crying individual who is known as Sita Devi, and what he did. Listen. Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Madhuram. Sita ke dena basuna bharaya, mai kara karti bharaya. Sita ke dena basuna bharaya, mai kara karti bharaya. Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Madhuram. Sita Devi is crying. It says that today, in the day and age of Kali Yuga, there are two kinds of crying. Do you want to tell me? Nobody knows? There are two kinds of crying. There's crying where people cry with emotion, and there's crying where people cry in showing the world. Many of you look at the Bollywood movie, and they are faking crying, and eventually they make you cry. Isn't that so? So this kind of cry that Sita Mata is crying is with emotion. Even to the birds, the creature, they can feel. And they are very helpless. They could not able to find a way to help. But loving devotees and friends, Jatayu went, and as he went closer, he recognized that the chariot was Ravana. Jatayu, as he stands there looking, he is thinking that I am only a bird. How can I rescue Sita Devi? Jatayu then think to himself that it is better for him to try and fail than rather it's better to try and fail than fail to try. Many of us, when we have been put to task, we say, you know what, I can't do that, man, give somebody else. If we don't try, we will never do anything in life. And when you don't do anything in life, you're building a characteristic to be like Kumkaran, one of the Katha. Jatayu start to gain courage. Sometime in life when you're down and you speak to yourself, that little thought boosts you a little bit to encourage you to be a little stronger. And lovely devotees, at this point in time, he gained a little courage and started to travel towards the chariot. And while he's traveling to the chariot, my dear friends, it says that he called upon Ravana that, "Oh Lanka Raja, release Sita Devi, save yourself, because if Sri Ram get to know the situation here, he will come in searching for the Divine Mother. And when he comes, he will not destroy you only, but he will destroy the entire Lanka." When a leader make a bad decision, who suffer? I'll bring that again. When a leader make a bad decision, who suffer? We are living in a world today. The leader should help to unite individuals, to help them to join hands, not to segregate and divide. But today, in the world we live, religion, organization, politicians, and the list goes on. What they will do? They will segregate us. When a leader make a bad decision, he is not the only one alone will be suffered, but everyone else. When a bad decision has been made by a leader, everyone will have to pay for it. And Ravana began to laugh. He is laughing at Jatayu. He says that, "Do you know who I am?" You know, somebody come tell you, say, "Put away that thing for your legs." You will come back and say, "You know who I am?" Similar situation. Ravana says, "Do you know who I am?" Remember the Katha says, Jatayu already recognized. Jatayu addressed him as Lanka Raja, the king of Lanka. But yet, as people see who we are, we want to remind them, because of Matikaritu Abhimanari Bandi, the pride, the false ego. Ravana said, "Do you know who I am? I am the king of Lanka. And if you want me to release Sita, you will have to battle with me." Just imagine you are in that situation. What would you do? Loving devotees and friends, that poor bird did not fly away, did not go away. But the bird went forward in performing his dharma, his truthful action. And what he did, as he flew towards Ravana, Ravana pulled out his sword. And by pulling the sword, loving devotees and friends, he clipped the wings of Jatayu and eventually slit the throat. Jatayu began to fall on the ground. And as Jatayu is falling on the ground, he is thinking in his mind, not that he is going to die, but he is thinking, "Wonder if my Ram will know where is Sita." Garu Puran says carefully, the last thing we think about at the time of death can make us a better position next janam or worse. Tonight, I am about to conclude Katha here because of time. As the thought comes to the mind of Jatayu, it says that wherever our mind is, there is where we are. Today what it teaches us, while we are in Mandil and our mind is somewhere else, it is useless, we are in satsang. While we are home, we are thinking that we are in Mandil, that is a blessing. Loving devotees and friends, there is a story which I want to leave with you all here tonight. There were two friends, and while they were living, one in the eyes of society was bad, and in the other hand, one was Ram. He go mandir and he pray, and they are very close friends. And one day, both of them get invitation, and as they both get an invitation, unfortunately, the invitation is on the same day and at the same time. So they both have two invitations, one to go for a satsang and the other to go to a party. Remember, same date, same time. So because of knowledge, they decided, you know what? Seems that I go to Mandir, I will go to Mandir and represent you. The friends speak to one another. And seems that you go all over the place and enjoy and you know more about party because I will be feeling awkward being there. You go there and represent me. And they come up with an agreement. Loving devotees and friends. It says that when we have been called, only one place we can be at a time. Only if we are God, then we will manifest here, there, and everywhere. Sometime in the world we live, we try to do that. We try to do many things at one time. And we put ourselves in trouble. The one that society saw as Ram, you know when you go Mandir, they call you Ram and Sita. While he is in satsang, he is chanting, and you know the Pandit take a little long. And he is looking at the time and he is thinking, one day if we give one chance to go see what the party look like. And while the katha is going on, the prayers, the puja, he is thinking, when this thing go down, when he go down. And in the other hand, the one that enjoying dancing, it is something that he do every day. He said, man, I wish I could have an opportunity to see what the satsang look like. Because he have never invited to one. And while he is dancing and enjoying, he is picturing what God look like. He is picturing, he is thinking, wonder what my friend is doing. Probably he is chanting at the moment. Probably he is offering a flower at this moment. And he says, imagination is what takes us to the lotus-like feet of God. As that action has been performed, they both grew up to become old. And as they get old, it says that every one of us, as we comes into this world, we have to leave. But one Krishna says, well, just like when you wear your clothes, long away it is beat up, right? Now you wash it. Eventually, by washing your clothes, you get wear and tear. And just like you're changing the old clothing and get new one, the body will have to change. So if we understand that, when death comes, we will not shed crocodile tears. So Katha says tonight that both of them, the time comes for them to leave the world. Yam Devata, take the Atma out of those bodies. The one that going to Mandil and society notices Bhagwan Sri Ram, when he died, he went to hell. And the one who was dancing, partying, went to heaven. So one day, Bhagwan went to the one that goes to Mandir and says, have you ever thought to yourself that, you know what, where heaven look like? I'll give you a chance today. Seems that you pray to me. Sometime, we pray, we say we pray a lot. But one says, seems that you pray to me sometime, I'll give you an opportunity. Do you want to take a visit and see what heaven look like? He says, yes. While Bhagwan is taking this friend into heaven, he recognized something. What he recognized? From time he stepped into heaven, he saw a friend. And he started to quarrel, just like when we leave our home, as he entering now, he started to quarrel. He says, oh God, how this is fair. He is going to party doing wrong things and you put him in heaven and I'm praying to you so much and you put me in hell. This is not fair. It says, loving devotees and friends, Bhagwan says that while you were praying, you were thinking what he is doing. And while he was enjoying, he is thinking what you are doing. It says it's not what you do, it's what you think is what is important. Loving devotees and friends, he could not have words, but he asked for another opportunity to come back in a human body to do over life again. Sometimes when we do things, it is good to start back from scratch. Never be disappointed. Lessons will taught us how to become stronger. Challenge will make us become stronger. Tonight, as I conclude Katha here, Raksha Bandhan is not about tying Rakhi in the brother hand, but it is about protection. What kind of protection? Any kinds of protection. It says that when you are here for Bhatra treat, when we are celebrating last year for Deepavali, one of the night has been known as Bhaya Doj, which recommended for brothers and sisters protection. And loving devotees and friends, hopefully we get that this year, and I will bring a katha of Mahalakshmi Devi in time Raksha. And it says because of Abhiman, what happened in that katha, Hopefully we can listen. Loving devotees, at this point in time, as Jatayu is falling, he is calling upon Ram and Ram and Ram. And it says when a devotee is in pain, and when we call upon God, we don't need to call upon God loudly. He will know. He will know that we need help. And at that point in time, Bhagwan Shri Ram, when looking for who is crying and calling upon Ram, Bhagwan, he is calling upon Ram, Ram, he is going to reach out his devotee, loving devotees and friends. As next week, the following week, this katha will be continue. I encourage you all to come along as we continue on this journey. As we conclude tonight, Goswami Tulsidas. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sita Ram. Together tonight, let us glorify the name of Bhagwan Shri Ram, because Bhagwan Shri Ram is Bhagwan Hari, is Bhagwan Vishnu. Next week Thursday we will be here and glorifying the name of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, which I'll bring a beautiful katha about Bhagwan Shri Krishna and Sudama, two friends. Ishvara tero nama sabko sammati de Bhagwan. ईश्वर नामा तेरो नाम सबको सम्मति है भगवान. Tonight, some may pray to Rama, some may pray to Allah. It does not mean who prays to Rama will go to heaven, or who prays to Allah will go to heaven. Tonight it says that is our action, is our mind has to be clean. It is useless to clean our home, dress up 99, but if the mind is chanchal, we cannot have a place at the lotus like feet of God. Raghupati Raghava Raja Rama Patita Pavan Sita Rama. Raghupati Raghava Raja Rama Patita Pavan Sita Rama. Vinu satsanghe dekhan hoye Ram kripa bina sunavayan soyi. Vinu satsanghe dekhan hoye. It says that when you tell people about satsang, not everybody understands the word satsang. It says that when there is satsang, even though if the mind is chanchal, it forces the mind to purify. When there is satsang, not everybody, like I mentioned last week, is qualified to be in satsang. We have to be permitted by the blessings of Bhagwan. As tonight we are in satsang, loving devotees and friends, we are not asking for anything else, but we are asking Hey Prabhu to protect us. Protect us. That is the purpose why a sister tie Rakhi and the hand of the brother. It says that today in the world we live, there will be advantage upon woman. And on the other hand, man have the courage and the strength to stand up and protect a woman. Beloved devotees and friends, today in the day and age, things are different. Women protect themselves now, right? They don't need protection. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sita Ram. राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम पतित पावन सीताराम पतित पावन सीताराम। प्रेम से श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की, उमापति महादेव की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय जय सीताराम।
गया मेरे राखी के बंधन का निवारण, गया मेरे राखी के बंधन का निवारण, मेरे राखी के बंधन का
च पापानि जन्मन्तर कृतानि च तानि तानि विनक्ष्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे। ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्तजनों के संकट भक्तजनों के संकट जन में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। जो ज्ञावे फल पावे दुख विरसे मन का। सुख संपत्ति घर आवे गौतम के कनका ओम जय जगदीश हरे। पिता तुम्हारे चरण रहो सखी तुम बिना और न दूजा आस करो सखी ओम जय जगदीश हरे। पूर्ण परमात्मा तुम अंतर्यामी पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर तुम सबके स्वामी ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम पालन करता दीन दयालु कृपालु कृपा करो भरता ओम जय जगदीश हरे। हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट भक्त जनों के संकट जन में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे। हरि ओम नमो नारायण ओम नमो नारायण हरि ओम नमो नारायण हरि ओम नमो नारायण। सत्यनारायण नारायण हरि हरि विष्णु नारायण नारायण हरि हरे नारायण नारायण हरि हरि जय जय नारायण नारायण Narayana. Prem Swa Satnarayan Swami ki. Let us all put our hands together to conclude. We're saying, Hey Prabhu, protect us. God has take us home safely once again, so we can come back and merge once again in Satsang. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhascha saka tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Shantakaram bhujagashayanam paramanabhyasudeshvam vishwadharam gagana sarvesham meghavarnam subhangam lakshmikantam kamalayayanam yogibhiradhyamiganyam vande vishnu bhavabhayaharanam sarvaloke kenatam sarvaloke kenatam sarvaloke kenatam. Tani bao. Om Gurura Brahma Gurura Vishnu Gurudevo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Aham न जानामि विसर्जनं पूजनं चैव न जानामि क्षमा करो जगदीश्वर. ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। प्रेम से बोलो सत्यनारायण स्वामी की, श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की, शिव शंकर भगवान की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की